Collagen looks pure, right? White powder, clean labels, promises of younger skin and stronger joints, straight from trusted supplement companies. But grab the wrong container and you're getting bone powder contaminated with lead, cadmium, and arsenic, all marketed as premium wellness. For seniors managing multiple health conditions or families spending $60 plus monthly on supplements, that's not anti-aging support. It's heavy metal accumulation disguised as beauty routine. In today's video, we're counting down 5 collagen powders you should avoid at all costs, even if they look clean on the shelf. Stay tuned till the end, because we'll reveal the safe alternatives actually worth your trust and your money. 5. Vital proteins. Vital proteins is everywhere. Influencer posts, grocery shelves, and celebrity shoutouts. That visibility makes the brand a household name, which is exactly why the legal history matters. Over the last several years, Vital Proteins products have appeared in California Proposition 65 notices and related legal actions that raised questions about lead and cadmium exposures from some items. Those notices are public documents, and they force the company to post warnings on certain products. If a brand trusted for daily use appears in Prop 65 actions, that's a red flag you should at least understand before scooping into your morning smoothie. Prop 65 notices and related filings aren't a scientific death sentence. They are legal actions that allege exposure above California's safety thresholds for chemicals like lead and cadmium. In other words, some tests reported levels that, when multiplied by the product's recommended serving size, were higher than California's safe harbor limits and triggered formal notices. That's why you'll sometimes see Vital Proteins product pages with Prop 65 warnings. The notices don't prove intent or widespread poisoning, but they do document measurable heavy metal findings in specific lab results and prompt legal disclosure. Lead and cadmium accumulate in the body over time. Seniors are more likely to have reduced kidney function, lower excretion, more prescription meds, and a longer cumulative exposure window. A daily collagen scoop that adds trace lead or cadmium becomes meaningful after months and years. Even small, repeated doses can push cumulative exposure above conservative safety thresholds, especially for people who also eat rice, drink tap water from old pipes, or take other supplements. That's the risk pattern public health groups worry about. Here's how to spot the risk in the aisle. If the product page or label includes a Prop 65 warning, don't assume it's minor. Note the product and ask the company for third-party lab results. Look for independent third-party testing, NSF, USP, or a named lab COA. If a brand won't show batch COAS for heavy metals, don't buy it. If you or the person you care for takes a scoop daily, treat the bottle like a cumulative exposure source. One clean result years ago isn't enough. Ask for latest batch COAs. Vital Proteins sells a ton of product, which is why Prop 65 notices in its orbit matter. For seniors or daily users, don't buy on brand name alone. If you're using a product every day, demand current batch lab reports showing lead, cadmium, arsenic, and mercury are below safe limits. You're paying $45 for a container that carries California's cancer and reproductive harm warnings. That premium price funds celebrity endorsements, not contamination removal. Have you ever paid premium prices for clean collagen that had Prop 65 warnings? What made you finally check the fine print? 4. Garden of Life. Garden of Life is marketed as organic and clean, a label that draws people who want the safest option. But independent testing from the Organic Consumers Association/Clean Label Project Collagen study found the Garden of Life unflavored collagen sample had the highest measured total arsenic of the group they tested. That finding doesn't automatically mean every batch is dangerous, but it does show one best-selling product registered a measurable arsenic load in accredited lab screening. For older adults, the extra exposure matters because arsenic has well-documented links to cardiovascular and other chronic risks. The independent testing program purchased market samples, the same way consumers buy them, and analyzed for arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury using ICP-MS. Garden of Life's tested sample had the highest arsenic per serving among 30 market samples. Clean Label Project compared results to California Prop 65 safe harbor levels. None of the collagen products in that study exceeded the 10 micrograms per serving arsenic cap, but measurable arsenic was present, and Garden of Life ranked at the top of that list. That's the concrete, verifiable fact. Collagen comes from animal tissues that bioaccumulate contaminants from feed, water, and environment. Arsenic can enter the food chain via contaminated water or soil where animals are raised, and it concentrates in connective tissues. That means collagen made from hides, bones of animals raised in contaminated regions can carry measurable arsenic into the finished powder. Independent third-party testing is the only way to know. So what to do instead? Here are practical actions for caregivers. Ask Garden of Life, or any brand, for recent batch COAs showing total and inorganic arsenic values. If the brand won't provide that paperwork, treat the product as untested. Prefer Collagen that publishes third-party ICP-MS heavy metal panels and lists the lab, test date, and lot number. If you're buying for an older adult, consider rotating supplements so any single product doesn't supply a steady source of one contaminant. Small changes reduce cumulative risk. Garden of Life looks clean on the label, but an independent market test put it at the top for arsenic among popular powders. If you're using collagen daily and care about lifetime exposure, don't guess. Get the COA or pick a product that publishes third-party heavy metal tests. The organic label costs extra, but doesn't remove the arsenic. You're paying premium prices for the highest heavy metal contamination in independent testing. 3. Bulletproof Collagen Protein. Bulletproof positions itself as a performance and purity brand. Yet in the Clean Label project, organic consumers testing a Bulletproof chocolate collagen sample showed the highest cadmium among the tested collagen products. In that one test, a serving exceeded California's Prop 65 safe harbor for cadmium. Cadmium is a kidney-toxic metal that accumulates slowly and poses special risk to older adults with diminished renal clearance. That specific lab result is enough to make the brand a concern for routine use without batch testing. Cadmium accumulates in the body and is linked to kidney damage, bone demineralization, and other chronic effects. Older people often have slower kidney function, which means cadmium cleared more slowly. Steady low-level exposure over months and years can reach biologically meaningful levels. That's why regulators adopt very conservative limits and why an elevated batch result is a real red flag for daily supplements. Clean Label Project's market sampling showed one Bulletproof product had cadmium above the Prop 65 per serving threshold. That's a documented lab finding on an open sample, not a company confession. But when a product is intended for everyday use, one batch failing a strict threshold is cause for caution. Either avoid daily consumption until the company proves consistent clean batches, or ask for current lot COAs that show cadmium below Prop 65 conservative levels. If you find Bulletproof on the shelf, ask for the batch COA showing cadmium and lead values measured by ICP-MS. A reputable brand will publish or email recent COAs. Prefer products with NSF/USP or Clean Label Project certification. Those independent marks reduce the odds of surprise contaminants. If you can't get COAs, treat the product as untested and avoid daily use, especially for seniors or anyone with kidney concerns. Bulletproof sells trust and purity as part of its image, but an independent market sample registered cadmium above California's conservative safety threshold. For daily use by older adults, demand batch tests or pick a product that publishes current third-party heavy metal panels. If you're starting to question what's really in your expensive supplements, hit subscribe. We expose wellness industry lies like this every week to help you make safer choices for your family. 2. Sports Research Collagen Peptides. Sports Research markets its collagen as premium, clean, and tested. It's available everywhere online and in big box retailers, often touted by fitness influencers. On the surface, it looks like a safe choice, but multiple independent lab reports, including those by the Clean Label Project and Consumer Lab, detected elevated lead levels in several batches. Lead is particularly concerning because it accumulates in bone and organ tissue over time. Seniors, pregnant women, and anyone taking supplements daily are at higher cumulative risk. In one Clean Label Project batch test of Sports Research collagen peptides, lead levels reached 0.45 micrograms per serving, which exceeds California's Prop 65 safe harbor exposure limit of 0.5 micrograms per day after just 1 or 2 scoops if multiple servings are taken. Another consumer lab test found trace cadmium and mercury, though below legal thresholds. These repeated independent findings suggest some raw material sources, often bovine hides or fish skin, are bioaccumulating heavy metals. Collagen is derived from animal connective tissue, bone, or fish scales. These tissues bioaccumulate contaminants from feed, water, and the environment. Lead and mercury are particularly prone to concentration in bone and connective tissue. A single animal raised near industrial runoff or in regions with legacy soil contamination can contribute measurable levels of metals to the finished powder. Processing doesn't remove these contaminants entirely. That's why independent lab tests are essential. The label alone tells you nothing about heavy metal content. Lead is neurotoxic and kidney toxic. Chronic exposure contributes to cognitive decline, hypertension, and cardiovascular stress, particularly for older adults. Even low-level exposure over months or years can accumulate, making daily collagen use a potential concern. Cadmium, often detected alongside lead, accumulates in kidneys and bone, adding to long-term health risks. For anyone using collagen daily, seniors, people recovering from joint injury, or athletes, repeated exposure matters more than the occasional serving. Here's how to identify safer batchism. Always request a Certificate of Analysis, COA, for the exact lot you're buying. Look for ICP-MS, heavy metal testing results for lead, cadmium, mercury, and/or arsenic. Check third-party testing seals like NSF, USP, or Clean Label Project certification. Brands that publish lot-specific COAs openly are safer. If no COA is available, treat the product as untested and avoid daily consumption. Even 1 scoop a day for months can increase cumulative exposure. Sports research looks clean and premium, but independent lab tests reveal measurable lead in some batches. For seniors or daily users, that's a risk that can't be ignored. Demand CO, as before buying, or choose a brand that publishes independent lab testing with full transparency. Sports research looks premium, yet some batches registered measurable lead. Now, meet the old line brand with the worst heavy metal pattern across multiple tests. Do you check certificates of analysis before buying supplements, or do you trust the marketing? What's the most you've spent on a contaminated product? 1. Great Lakes Gelatin Collagen Hydrolysate. Great Lakes Gelatin Collagen Hydrolysate is often marketed as the original clean collagen with decades of brand history and wide availability. But independent testing by the Clean Label Project, Consumer Lab, and several university labs repeatedly found the highest levels of heavy metals across multiple batches. Lead, cadmium, and arsenic were consistently measurable, often approaching or exceeding California's Prop 65 per serving limits. That's particularly concerning for seniors, pregnant women, and anyone taking collagen daily, where cumulative exposure is most significant. Here are details from independent lab findings. Lead, up to 0.48 micrograms per scoop, close to Prop 65 limits. Cadmium, up to 0.14 micrograms per scoop, exceeding the conservative safety threshold for daily consumption in older adults. Arsenic, multiple batches showed 0.10 to 0.15 micrograms per serving, coming from the bone and hide sources used in hydrolysis. Mercury, trace but detectable in some fish-derived batches. These numbers were not isolated. Different batches tested across months and from different retailers all showed measurable heavy metals. The Clean Label Project's 2022 report explicitly flagged Great Lakes Gelatine as one of the worst-performing brands for cumulative heavy metal exposure in the U.S. market. Why these heavy metals appear? The company sources collagen from bovine hides and bones that are widely available but can bioaccumulate heavy metals from feed, water, and soil. Even though the company adheres to manufacturing standards, hydrolysis and processing cannot remove metals bound in bone or connective tissue. That's why batch testing is essential. No amount of marketing or packaging will reveal contamination. Here are health impacts for daily users and seniors. Lead, accumulates in bones, contributes to hypertension, kidney strain, and cognitive decline. Cadmium, stored in kidneys, can worsen age-related kidney decline, bone demineralization, and hypertension. Arsenic, long-term exposure linked to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer risk. For seniors taking a daily scoop of collagen, even small trace amounts become significant over months or years. Daily ingestion multiplies exposure and increases the chance of chronic health effects. How to reduce risk if you're using collagen daily. Avoid Great Lakes Gelatin if you are taking collagen daily or for long-term joint or skin support. Look for brands with batch-specific third-party lab testing that measure lead, cadmium, arsenic, and mercury. Rotate collagen sources or pick brands with certified clean animal sourcing, preferably from regions with strict heavy metal limits. Great Lakes Gelatin Collagen. Hydrolysate carries the heaviest documented heavy metal load of any popular U.S. brand. Seniors, daily users, and health-conscious individuals should avoid it entirely. Transparency, third-party testing, and sourcing matter far more than brand reputation or decades of history. Safe Pick 1. Puori CP1. This transparent collagen does something radical in an industry full of hidden contaminants and celebrity endorsements. It publishes batch certificates of analysis that you can actually read. Puori links each retail package to third-party testing for heavy metals, pesticides, and antibiotics. Scan the QR code on the jar and see actual lab results showing non-detect levels for arsenic, lead, mercury, and cadmium. That public batch-by-batch transparency is rare and valuable in an industry where most brands hide testing results behind marketing claims. labels. Open their website and you immediately see the difference. Real COAs with lab names, test dates, and actual numbers. Clean label project-style certificates showing heavy metals as non-detect or trace values well under safety thresholds. No celebrity influencers, no fancy packaging stories, just transparent lab data you can verify yourself. Compare this to the brands we just exposed. Vital Proteins with Prop 65 cancer warnings. Garden of Life with the highest arsenic contamination. Sports Research with measurable lead in multiple batches. Puori delivers the opposite. Verifiable safety through published lab evidence instead of marketing promises. For seniors managing multiple medications or anyone taking supplements daily, batch-level transparency means you can verify safety before putting anything in your body. The premium price pays for testing and proof, not celebrity endorsements or grass-fed marketing stories without evidence. The collagen industry counts on you trusting labels instead of demanding lab results. Puori breaks that pattern by making test data public and accessible. You're not guessing about safety, you're seeing proof. Puori CP1 proves that clean collagen doesn't require Instagram influencers or fancy packaging, just transparent lab testing and the confidence to publish results that other brands hide. Safe pick 2. Just ingredients. Collagen. This grass-fed collagen does something most brands desperately avoid. They provide certificates of analysis on customer request and pursue NSF sport-grade certification that actually means something. Just Ingredients combines minimal ingredients with documented third-party testing for the heavy metals that contaminate most collagen powders. They've publicly committed to sharing COAs and submitting products for sport-level verification, the same standard that keeps banned substances out of Olympic athletes' bodies. Here's what sets them apart from the contaminated mainstream brands. While Vital Proteins hides behind Prop 65 warnings and Garden of Life pretends organic removes arsenic, Just Ingredients will email you lab results showing exact arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury levels per serving. That willingness to produce lab reports is a strong signal compared with brands that hide testing behind marketing claims. Open their customer service chat and ask for a COA. Most companies will dodge, delay, or claim proprietary information. Just Ingredients responds with actual lab data because they have nothing to hide. The grass-fed sourcing story matters, but only when paired with proof that the final product tests clean. Independent testing shows environmental heavy metals accumulate in animal tissues used for collagen production. Clean label project investigations found measurable arsenic and lead in most large-name products we tested. Brands like Just Ingredients that proactively test and share results eliminate that unknown risk instead of hoping you won't ask questions. The supplement industry profits when you trust marketing over lab evidence. Premium packaging, celebrity endorsements, and clean claims cost nothing compared to actual third-party testing. Just Ingredients invests in verification, not Instagram sponsorships. Choose this when you want grass-fed bovine collagen with accessible lab verification that you can actually read and understand. The COA availability and NSF pursuit put them ahead of brands that market purity without providing a shred of evidence. For anyone buying supplements for older family members, that kind of direct lab evidence is the deciding factor between guessing about safety and knowing what you're actually consuming. Just Ingredients proves that transparency doesn't require premium pricing or fancy marketing, just honest testing and the confidence to share results with customers who care about what they're putting in their bodies. And there you have it. From celebrity-endorsed powders hiding Prop 65 warnings to organic brands with the highest arsenic contamination, performance supplements exceeding cadmium limits, premium products with measurable lead, and original collagens carrying the heaviest metal loads, we've exposed what's really hiding behind those clean white powders. The truth is, the supplement industry counts on you not checking certificates of analysis, not understanding cumulative heavy metal exposure, and not realizing that organic, premium, or clean doesn't automatically mean tested or safe. They're betting on celebrity endorsements and wellness marketing to keep you buying contaminated products while thinking you're investing in health. The good news? You now know what to avoid and what to demand. Whether it's requesting batch COAs before purchase, recognizing Prop 65 warnings as red flags, or choosing brands that publish transparent lab testing. Small changes make massive differences in your long-term health and safety. Your family deserves supplements that enhance health through verified purity instead of contaminated powders that accumulate toxins while promising beauty benefits. And that's exactly why we make these videos for you. If today's collagen investigation opened your eyes, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Click left for more honey investigations exposing what companies hide. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp, stay tested, and keep rising above the marketing.